All right, I think we're connected now. What's up, guys? It's the year 2000.
Evidently.
And you
Hello?
are tasked with creating the
Hello?
ultimate...
Hello?
Hello, yeah, hello.
Mom, I'm on the internet. Don't pick up the phone.
And you are tasked with creating the ultimate mega group to dominate TRL, Total Request Live, for those of you who don't know. You can steal any two members from NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, or O-Town to build your trio. Okay, so you are one person in this group and you're stealing two other people to make the ultimate trio. Who are you taking, and what is your ridiculous group name?
We'll let Ashby go first because I feel like she's most qualified. Not to say we didn't listen to boy bands, because we did, but
We weren't as vocal
I had to
about
look
it.
up some names to be sure.
I'm pretty sure you guys were both in a boy band. So Eric for a group project and Kyle for like an actual hobby.
It's true, yes.
We didn't want to call it that, but we were.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah, if you're boys in a band, you're a boy band.
Boy
I don't
band.
like to mix definitions. I don't want to be exclusionary about it. Okay.
That's right. Let's not get too technical. I mean, it's just
we just
semantics.
bring everybody in at that point.
I had a
who's
really
your
hard
band?
time finding a name. I really kind of gave up because, like, what hasn't been done, you know? I went sort of the talent route instead of the, like, my favorites route. You know, I was that kid drawing, like, Mrs. Lance Bass on all of her binders or whatever. Spoiler alert, he wasn't that into, not just me, but women in general. Good for him.
Yeah.
Um,
He went to the prom with Danielle Fishel from Boy Meets World.
Mm-hmm.
He did, and they recreated that photo because they're best friends now.
Yes.
But he's, you know, happily married to his husband. Spoiler alert. So it wasn't the age gap. It was just the fact that I was the wrong gender.
Yes. You didn't have a chance.
Nope.
So anyway,
Or maybe
I
you
went
did.
based on...
Maybe that means you had just as good of a chance as any other woman out there. So,
as in, like, zero chance.
well, depends on how you want to view it, but you were top runner at least. So
you were tied for first.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true, but thanks for trying to make me feel better, Kyle.
Yeah, you know.
Anywho, so I decided that my picks were going to be JC from NSYNC because, you know, not to be controversial, but like he was more talented, I think,
Hot
than maybe
take.
someone else.
Oh man,
who was put front and center in that group.
Wow.
It was just the hair.
Wow.
Let me clear my throat. So JC, and then not to keep it like going with the initials, but AJ, because again, I think if you go based solely on talent, not that they're not all super talented and can sing way better than I can, but I feel like AJ was one of those members that, you know, you had the members that stood out from like a talent standpoint, but then you also had the members who maybe didn't have as many like fans, right? Like no one I knew was like an AJ girl. Not that they don't exist, but I feel like, you know, Nick Carter and Brian and Kevin got a lot of like the love. But like AJ's like coming through. And also now as like an older woman, it's like he's a good dad. He has a nail polish company that he started because of his daughter, and they like paint each other's nails. And he just seems like such a cool guy. So anyway, that's my second pick. And then my third pick is Drew Lachey because Homeboy did not get as much props as the other Lachey brother. And I feel like if you're sort of like looking at 98 Degrees catalog and you're listening to some of those like runs, that was Drew, not Nick. So those are my three picks for my trio.
Okay. Did you have a name?
I guess like 95 Degrees because like
There we
they're all
go.
the right picks.
Perfect.
Get it?
Perfect.
I do.
I do. Yes. It would be 90 degrees then, because
90
95
degrees.
is.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Oh my
Math is
God.
hard. Yeah.
Mhm.
Look, I've moved past math. Okay, I've healed and I've moved on, and I don't want to talk about it again.
Understood. Kyle.
Well, I took your trio to mean that I had to pick 2 people and then myself. So, not that I would put myself there, but that's the route I went.
That's kind of the route I went as well. So.
Okay, well, at least we're on the same page. Our boy bands.
We're at the same table,
We'll go
at
on the
least.
tour together.
I can't
To
be
be
in a boy band, guys. That doesn't work for me.
Well, it didn't say boy band. It said ultimate mega group.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Either way,
I mean, you must have went past reading too. I mean, just
Dang.
Yeah, I mean,
she gets sick for 1 week and you just start throwing
Wow.
daggers at her.
Look, I feel terrible, and you're dunking on me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You know what?
Yes.
Since you're stooping low,
pick
I
on the
decided
weak.
I'll stoop low.
Mm.
And I didn't want to make a joke about me and 2 guys, but I will. Okay.
Whoa.
I want to avoid that.
Ashby said, "You know what? You've got to edit this thing. I'm going to make you have to edit out all the words I
I'm
say.
leaving
today."
it in. We'll put the little E beside our episode this week. I'm not going to give myself more work just because you're not here. So.
Back to my group. First
I'm
off,
gonna call my
Backstreet
group
Boys.
Double stuffed Oreo.
Oh, snap. Okay, back to mine. Family-friendly trio on this side of the tour. Truthfully, I just chose Brian. Is it Luttrell or Literal? What you want to say? Ashby?
Latrell.
Luttrell.
It's literal Latrell.
Literally Luttrell
Latrell.
from Backstreet Boys. I don't know. Just growing up, I was just like, he's a good-looking dude. He seems like pretty solid. He's got this. Beyond that, I didn't know anything about him or the rest of the group. Like, same way I started to know their names somewhat, and same way with NSYNC, I understood like some of their names or knew some of those. But I'm just going from a guy that watched TRL back then and knew the songs regardless, but not really the talents of each individual person. So I just want people to stood out with me. So I chose him from Backstreet Boys. I did choose Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees, but again, it's just because he stood out, and they honestly kind of like resemble each other a little bit. Not a ton, but I was just like, he's the first person that popped up because I didn't want to choose Justin Timberlake or somebody super overly popular. So I didn't go that route. But our band name is The Streets, Degrees, and Me.
I like it.
So Doug Streets, Degrees, and Me.
I like it a lot. Well, I went the
I like
exact opposite route. I went very boring and very obvious because that's
Eric, so I'm going for the money.
I'm going for the money. We're getting Justin Timberlake. We're getting Lance Bass. I'm in there as the third guy, and because we all have main character energy, we're gonna be out of sync.
Oh, that's even better. Maybe
Okay.
yours is one of the top headliners on this tour.
Maybe.
Ashby and I are opening up for you.
I think there'll be a lot of infighting though about who gets to do the lead. Like, I don't know Lance's personality, but I feel like Justin and I will probably, as much as I think we'd want to get along, we'd play golf, outside of the tour, but on stage, I think we'd fight over who would be front and center. So that's why we're out of sync.
I just
fair.
assumed that you three
That's
just each get a song. Like every 3 songs is your song.
Yeah,
You're not going to go down that way. It's
I
like,
want
it's
it
like
all.
that's
That would
too
be too
easy.
fair.
Yeah.
I want to fight about this. Yeah.
I want it all or nothing at all. No, wait, that's O-Town. Hang on.
Yeah,
That's
no
their
one picked anyone from
contributions.
O-Town. Like Eric Michael Estrada. Come on. He was my.
I'm going to be
he was
honest.
my
Before
ultimate.
before we came up with this question, I forgot O-Town kind of existed. So,
Dang.
sorry,
Oh.
O-Town. Love y'all. I could play that little song
No,
on the piano.
Eric.
The "Cause I Want It All." I could play that on the piano. I mean, so maybe we'll have them be special guest stars on our tour, and I can play the little song on the piano, and they can sing at their spotlight moment.
They just come out for the one
Come
song.
on.
Maybe they
Fun.
could be making the band. Maybe they can make the band. I don't know.
Eric's like, actually, this is my tour, though, so I'm going to be singing. I just need you to be backup
I just need y'all to
vocals.
stand there.
Yeah.
We're going to turn your mics off. So.
Mhm.
We must never forget that the song "Liquid Dreams" exists. That's very important to the culture.
And I can't edit this out either. I mean, all right, let's go to the intro.
What?
And what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the What Variety Show. I'm your host, Eric, joined by Kyle, and via technology, we have Ashby. So,
What is advanced in the last 5 to 7 years?
yes.
I feel like a news correspondent.
Yes. And due to technology, maybe y'all heard the clapping in the background. We have sound effects too. So this is going to be a very sound effect heavy episode, I feel like. Probably not.
So we just discovered clip art on,
Yeah. Yes.
on like a report for like 4th grade. But hey,
Yes.
we're excited.
So,
Like Clippy in the corner. Tick, tick, tick.
yes.
Do you want to
Clippy.
add images to your document?
This will be a great time to add some claps.
Oh, and folks, we have an absolute monster of an episode lined up for you today on Block 1. We're talking about what's happening in pop culture. We're sitting down for a brand new segment called In Development, and we're giving you the one to watch. In Block 2, it's my favorite thing. We're getting fiercely competitive as we build our ultimate Spider-Man movie by drafting, of course.
Love a good draft.
We love a good draft here. They haven't vetoed me yet. So, and in Block 3, we are bringing a World Cup vibe to the studio with the debut of pop culture penalty shootouts. And finally, we're going to wrap things up by letting our rage fly in our favorite segment, Useless Aggression.
Woo.
So, it is packed. It is nostalgic. So, buckle up. We're going to dive straight into Block 1. So, before we dive all the way into the episode today, I just kind of want to take the temperature of the room. What
It's
do
a
you
little
think?
warm.
A little warm in here today? Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
Fans on.
Ashby, how's the temperature in your room?
Well, I could be running a fever, so who knows? I'm cold, but also sweating. Who can say?
Man, that's a combo. We've all been buried in our own screens lately. So I've got to ask, what has everyone actually been watching over the past month? Give me the good, give me the bad, the absolute trash comfort TV you've been putting on at 2 a.m. Ashby, I'm assuming that's you can't sleep. So let's start with you. What's dominating your watch history right now, whether it be televisions, movies, or anything in between?
So I am a huge Criminal Minds fan. I probably don't talk about that particular franchise on here a lot because I've been watching it for so long. It's not something I necessarily think about when a new season starts. They've moved off of CBS, off of cable, and onto Paramount Plus. So the last few seasons, they've been able to afford more cast members. They can cuss now. It's a little bit more intense as far as the gore goes. And they've rebranded it as Criminal Minds Evolution. Less episodes per season, which is kind of interesting for pacing, but I think it's great. And I think honestly, like moving it off of cable onto streaming has been good for the show in a lot of ways. As someone who's watched it for, oh gosh, it's got to be going on like 15 years, I think.
Wow.
But they still have some of the original anchor cast members, which is good. And this season, they're continuing their sort of overarching Elias Voight as like the king of serial killers sort of plot line. But interesting this season, and to tie it into some things I've been talking about previously, before he became super famous playing Ilya Rezanov on Heated Rivalry, Connor Story filmed as a 4-episode guest on this season of Criminal Minds. And the cast had nothing but wonderful things to say about him. And his character seems pretty interesting so far. So I've been enjoying watching that. And then also I got really as of being sick. So as of like a few days ago, because I needed something to just like watch as I was trying to recover. And a lot of my shows are either like off or haven't come back on or whatever. Um, I've been watching Paradise on Hulu, which is a Dan Fogelman TV show that has a really interesting premise. I don't want to ruin it for anyone who might start it, but it's got James Marsden. It's got Sarah Shaw and oh no. Why can't I think of his name? This happened to me yesterday when I was trying to explain the show to Daniel. Who was the guy who was in This Is Us?
A lot of people. Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown. Thank you.
Yes.
Sterling K. Brown is the main character. He plays an FBI agent. But it's really good. I'm like 5 or 6 episodes into the first season, and it's kind of like a whodunit, but also it has like a sci-fi theme to it. So I've been watching that, and then still watching my true crime docs. Been through a lot of those lately. I've been watching NCIS Sydney and Tracker, both on CBS in real time, and those are off for the season right now, but those are really good. And then speaking of trash TV, did you guys watch Thrash on Netflix
No.
about the sharks and the hurricane?
No.
Oh man, guys, it was terrible. It was so fun to watch. I mean, just truly, it was like Cocaine Bear, but with sharks. And I do not regret the hour and a half I wasted watching that. It was really, really good. So if you're looking to just like turn your brain off and you like disaster movies and you like creature features, Thrash on Netflix, highly recommend.
Nice.
And then yesterday I watched House of Dynamite, which was something I was interested in watching when it came out last year and never got around to. It's also a Netflix movie. And it's basically very like end of the world, but done in a way I've never seen done before. It was really interesting how they treat the timeline, how they end the movie, how they break the movie up. It also had some interesting like people popped up in it that I wasn't expecting, like Rebecca Ferguson, Anthony Ramos, and Idris Elba.
Oh, nice.
So I would recommend that if you're into like disaster movies.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Nice.
Nice.
What about you, Kyle?
Well, I went off of your great sell, and I don't know if it was last episode or the one before, but on Rooster.
Rooster.
So Eric and I ended up watching the full season of Rooster. Really loved it. Hopefully, I assume they're doing a season 2.
They will be doing a season 2.
Sure.
Rooster's great.
Definitely, I recommend that. So I know we talked about that already on other episodes, so we won't go deep in that. So do that. And truthfully, I've been watching more YouTube lately than movies and stuff. Particularly one that's about a company called Toy Federation. They're a toy store that's in South Carolina. So, it's honestly, it's not quite like Pawn Stars because it's not a bunch of gimmicks of it's a legit store, but it's just a toy store that's like sells old toys, old things, and so people bring in their stuff, they evaluate it, they go through all these boxes of stuff from a lot of our childhoods and looking at things and just evaluating what it's worth now in today's time. And I don't know, it's just been really cool. More than just the money side of it, it's just been cool to see random toys and stuff that we played with as kids that are popping up in these boxes and just the memories that the people that are bringing this stuff in have to share. But it is just a fully operational toy store in South Carolina. They do a lot of conventions and stuff where they go and sell toys and do stuff like that. So it's not overly produced. It's just literally the shop doing their own thing. And so I think it's really cool. I've been just watching that, letting it play in the background just for nostalgic type reasons. So it's been fun.
Nice. For me, I have been watching quite a few things. First of all, the 4 seasons on Netflix is something that our friend Bobby mentioned to us at your daughter's birthday party last month. And so far it's 2 seasons. It's 8 episodes a season. The premise is basically these 3 couples get together 4 times a year, basically, to do like a little vacation or something. So 2 episodes are set in the spring, 2 episodes are set in the summer, 2 were set in the fall, and 2 were set in the winter. So yeah, the 4 seasons really great. Tina Fey, Steve Carell are 2 of the big headliners. Domingo, or is it Domingo Coleman?
Domingo.
Coleman Domingo. Yeah, no, he's really hilarious. And it's just a hilarious show. The episode 7 in season 1 really ends like with a shocker. Of course, the end of episode 1 kind of ends with a shocker that sets the tone for the rest of the season in the series as well. So it's just really, really good. I'd highly recommend it. It's on Netflix, called The 4 Seasons. I went and saw The Mandalorian and Grogu a few weeks ago.
I've heard good things.
It's really good, but...
Oh, no. There's a but.
Oh, no.
It was basically like watching 2 episodes of The Mandalorian on the big screen, which I'm not mad at, but you could have cut the movie in half and aired these on Disney Plus, and you would not have lost anything at all. Like, it literally felt like they just put 2 TV episode scripts together for a movie. Again, really good. I enjoyed it. I think it's definitely worth watching. I don't know that I would recommend going to see it in theaters. So,
Gotcha. Do you feel like it was really just a ploy to get people into theaters?
yes.
Yeah.
So, outside of that, I actually started watching The Bear, which I started a couple of years ago,
I really
and
like
then
that show.
just stopped watching. And then over the past few weeks, I've actually caught up until the end of season 4. They just dropped season 5 Thursday night, so 2 days ago, and I have not started season 5, which is the last season. The Bear is, how do I describe The Bear? You know how Ted Lasso is like a show about optimistic people who are all just kind of messed up in their own ways, but they find each other and they're working through their things while being super positive and stuff. Well, The Bear is like a bunch of pessimistic people who were really screwed up and like to yell at each other and their family, but they have only each other and they're still trying to work through all their mess ups.
Nihilism.
Yeah, it's listed as a comedy, and I can see why, but it's more of a drama than a comedy, even though, like, in the award seasons, it's going to be under all the comedies. But there are some really good episodes. Season 2's episode 7, Forks, is one of my absolute favorite episodes of the entire series. And then season 4, I think it's also episode 7, The Bears, or I think it's just Bears. It's an hour-long episode at a wedding, and it's just really overly just sweet and it's just really great. So I'm looking forward to season 5. I'll talk about more about that, I guess, in the one to watch.
First off, like, I gotta interrupt you. Your brain, for people that just don't know Eric, I already knew this about Eric, but just sitting here beside him this week and watching his monitor, all that stuff was just straight out of his brain. Where it's like season 2, episode 7, this title. It's a great episode. Also, this one, it's like, no, it literally just says The Bear.
Yeah.
It's all his notes say over here. It blows my mind every time where it's just like, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you a single episode title of anything I've ever watched. Yet, here you are. Just,
if only I'd use it for, to make money, to monetize, but
I know.
Here we are.
I can do that with music and probably like movie quotes. Which, yes, if I could get rid of all that knowledge in my head, I could probably do quantum physics. But here we are.
I'm just saying, Pop Culture Jeopardy. I know they only have teams of 2 now. So, they moved from Prime to Netflix. But two of the 3 of us, I think we would make a pretty good dent in some cash there. So
I would just heavily rely on you, and I'd be like, wait, I know this one.
So please take us. Pop Culture Jeopardy. We would love to be on the show. Also, lot of sports. NHL Finals, Carolina Hurricanes, Stanley Cup champions. It's fantastic. Definitely love that. The NBA Finals, the Knicks won for the first time in 53 years, which is, I mean, when you have something happen that hasn't happened in our lifetime in sports, that's a pretty big deal. And, New York, center of, I mean, they've been the center of basketball for like forever, but they've never really had much to show for it. And so it's just really good to see them pick up a very important title. There's a wrestling.
Also really nice is not, I mean, for both the Stanley Cup and for the NBA Finals, it's really nice to see when a win is so well deserved.
Right, absolutely.
And it's great to see when a wrestler, Danhausen, has so much to do with all of it.
Yes, I was going to say there's a wrestling connection to both of these things. Danhausen, who's a WWE wrestler, he curses people, and he cursed the Knicks early on, and they were down 3-1 in the first round to a lesser team, and then he uncursed them, and then they went. Like, they only lost 1 game the rest of the way. We're not going to say which game, but we know who's responsible. And then the same thing with the Hurricanes in the finals, that he actually cursed them during game 1 against the Golden Knights. And then someone offered more human monies to uncurse them and curse the Vegas Knights.
He likes the human monies.
He likes that human monies. And
witches be working overtime.
Yeah, and so Thank you, Danhausen.
Yeah, Danhausen. Thank you very
Appreciate it.
much.
Also been watching the College World Series. Carolina made it to the final game. Could not pull it off against Oklahoma. Oklahoma had just a heater of a postseason run, but very proud of my Tar Heels. And then, of course, the World Cup has been so fun to watch. I don't know if you have been watching it or if you've been watching Ashby, but it's just really fun to see so many different cultures come together in our country at a time where the landscape is just very politically charged and very just kind of hostile, and see all these countries come in, and it's all love from the people, both from here and there and all around. I mean, I think I've seen more games where, I mean, obviously the World Cup has had a lot of different games. I don't think I've actually seen the Americans play as much as I've seen all these other countries play, because, I mean, it's just, the viewing habits. I know USA was playing Thursday night at like 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, well, I'm not going to watch all of that.
Right.
But it's just been really fun to watch. Like the DR Congo got their first ever World Cup goal, and that was just a really good moment. You're watching like fans from like Scotland and Norway, and there's a couple of people on Twitter. There's a guy from Germany called Freddie, who has traveled over here, and he's traveling to go watch all these different games featuring Germany. There's another guy from Japan. I don't know if I sent y'all one of his things on Instagram, where he sat down in a Mexican restaurant, and they bring him a basket of chips, and he's like, I didn't earn these, and they're like, no, it comes with the table. He's like, free chips and salsa. Like, in my country, you have to earn everything,
and
like
free refills on soft drinks.
Bottomless, yes,
free chips and salsa.
So that's been a lot of fun. And then last, I saved this one because I know Kyle mentioned watching this. Me and Ivy went to see Toy Story 5 last weekend. I know Kyle said he watched it earlier this week.
Yep.
Ashby, I know you probably haven't seen it because you haven't seen any of them, and I haven't watched any.
To the Taylor Swift song.
The Taylor Swift song, it's great. You would love it at the end of Toy Story 5. But Kyle, what were your thoughts on Toy Story 5?
We're not spoiling it, right? We're just talking about
overarching themes, I guess. I mean, maybe a little bit of a spoiler warning here, but we're going to try not to heavily spoil it.
This one's a lot more about Jesse, which I think was cool in the backstory and everything. I thought it was good. Like, first off, I thought it was great. I know after 3, they said they weren't doing a 4th, and then they came back with a 4th because they said that it was too good not to do it. And then they came back with this one because they felt it was right. And truthfully, I think they did a good job with a daughter that, we've talked about before, having a tablet, and limiting screen time and making sure they're active and still playing goes right into this movie, where this movie is so heavily focused on that as a child. That's getting technology, but I liked how it didn't just call out the kids. I will say that much. It shows all of the houses in the neighborhood, and so little kids are playing now with toys, and everybody's just on a tablet. But it also shows the mom or dad that are like on their computer or phone or video games or TV, just whatever. And it shows like all these different houses that are just have these little glowing lights in all of them, where just everybody just sits down on their technology now. And it does cross my mind often, like when we'll go out to eat or just be hanging out or doing stuff. It's not so much out to eat, but even friend groups where we're kind of like hanging out but waiting for the next thing, or I'll just sit there. Or even at like the doctor's office, if you're in the waiting room, you look around and everybody's literally just on their phones now, instead of, not saying everybody should be talking to each other if you're sick, but just in general, just how frequently it is a habit, especially for myself, to sit down and pull out your phone as you sit down. Or if I'm going to bed another 45 minutes from now, as I like lay in bed on my phone or whatever. And I thought they did a really good job of not just bashing technology, but showing how way and technology can work well with other things. So it's not like it's a straight up technology hating movie, but it's just about balance and engaging in life still, and how you can use that technology as part of your engagement in life, but not to make it just everything. And I do think it brought up some good points about parents just not being aware of what their kids are doing on their stuff. Even in this movie with Bonnie being such a young character, I don't know exactly if they say how old Bonnie is. I know her friend that she ends up dealing with in the movie is like 9, they're guessing, something like that. I don't know if Bonnie's quite that age or a little younger, but just the conversations and the things that are already happening at that age, nothing it's it's more like bullying between kids
Right.
than other. I don't want thoughts to go out there thinking it's more than what I'm saying, but
No.
it is just with bullying and things that are happening that parents that are just oblivious of, and they're not taking that step to be more aware. And so it was nice to see that, to be, even as a dad, like get called out on stuff, to be like, that's something I need to work on to be more aware of. And I don't know, overall, I thought it was good. I don't think it's the best one or anything. Maybe some time in the future when you watch all of Lord of the Rings and Ashby watches all of Toy Story, we'll have an episode where
It's gonna happen.
we'll rank them all. I've seen that kind of going around lately, but I definitely would recommend it. If you like Toy Story, I think it's worth going to see. I don't think it was some big major fall or anything like that. Or, it is what you make it. I'm sure somebody out there is saying bad things because they can only look for the bad things, but I think overall it's a good movie.
I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the conversation that it sparks, the role of technology in our lives. I do think it's very hypocritical of Disney and Pixar to kind of send that message out, but then also sell a lily pad
Sure.
as a toy. Like this can be bad, but here's one. So because it was a character in our movie. It broke my heart a little bit seeing, like, this movie was not as much about the toys. It was about Jesse in a sense, but it was about the Bonnie.
Sure.
And this is kind of like one of the first times like where the movie was actually about the human character in a sense and their relationship with the things around them. So that was a little bit of a shift from the other four movies where it was about the journey of the toys, and this was more about the journey of the toys through the eyes of Bonnie and how they can support Bonnie. I did when we got in the car, I did have some choice words to say about those bullying girls.
Sure.
That I will not repeat here because we are still a family show.
Despite my best efforts.
Yes, despite Ashby's best efforts. But I see it though. I see how this happens in life though. I see how technology, it's easier for people to hide behind their screens and make awful remarks, the things that they would not necessarily say to people's faces. So it's just kind of an eye opener. I hope it's an eye opener for people in terms of like things to do, things not to do. Not that you should be taking your cues from a movie, but I also kind of look at this in a way, the way I would look at Inside Out, where Inside Out kind of explains emotions going through kids and I guess through people in general. And this is kind of like the relationship you should have with technology. I don't think, just this is not a spoiler, but Bonnie gets the lily pad and her parents say, okay, we're going to have to set some screen time for you or screen limits for you after the first day. We're going to let you figure it out today, and then we're going to set limits for you tomorrow. And then the lily pad sits on her nightstand beside her bed. So the first thing she does when she gets up is grab the tablet, much in the same way as the first thing I do when I get up is grab my phone. It's not a healthy thing.
Sure.
And it's definitely not healthy for children who may not understand how that works or how their brain's being rewired to work that way. So, like,
and I'll say from a dad's standpoint, they got a lot of stuff like that right. At least how I've seen it, where it's they gave her the lily pad, said we're gonna let you have the day with it to figure things out, and then they said the fact of, and then tomorrow we'll start working on screen time. But as her mind and it literally blurs them out after they've said we're gonna let you have this for today.
Like it's basically like she does not hear it.
Yeah.
Like,
and you expect them to hear it, but the child at that age is not grasping hearing multiple things. She is fully engaged on that tablet, not hearing what you're saying. And I see that a lot with Sky, and we've worked on things because of that. But you do see that a lot where it's like, no, they're fully like not paying attention to you at all. And it's not choosing not to listen to you. It's just their age and their brain function and how it is at this point. And you've got to set some boundaries and some limits there and not just come in screaming because they're not answering you, but to figure out like, this is why you're not listening. Let's stop this for a little bit and work on these things.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed the first time the parents took the tablet away to be like, okay, we need to put it away and charge or do this, that she literally didn't have a full-blown meltdown.
Yeah.
Because that's been my experience with a lot of things, or even other parents, but just the full-blown meltdowns of taking it away. Like, she like look just pretty much just handed it over and went and did something. But to be fair, like in 5 minutes later, she ran back and got it again. But
Yeah, I did notice that there was a change in Bonnie's like voice a little bit whenever she was talking to her parents when it comes to in regards to the tablet. Like she seemed a little more resistant, a little more
Sure.
back talking.
Mm.
And I think that's very realistic as well. So, overall, I think it was a great movie. No, not the best one. I don't think we're gonna see anything top the first three movies when it comes to Toy Story, mainly because this is kind of my experience in the first three movies. It really was more toy focused, and it wasn't just Woody and Buzz, but it was all
the whole group.
It was the whole group, and then 4 and 5, you did not get a lot of like the secondary characters like Slinky, like Rex, like Potato Head. Like you just didn't get where they had full blown storylines and stuff in the first 2 or 3 movies. They were just kind of there in 4 and 5.
I do look forward for like the time when it comes, whenever it happens way from now, when we do kind of judge them and Ashby has decided to watch them. If Ashby will have the same reaction thinking the movies are good in that type of order, if she doesn't have the childhood connection that we had, because I saw the first one when I was 11. And so I was still playing with toys at 11. Like I was in that age of like kind of getting out, kind of not, but I still had action figures like Batman and movies that were out at the time. I remember getting those toys for those movies. And sure, like I wasn't playing it nonstop with toys. We had video games and just growing in general. But at that age, I still was somewhat in there with toys. And so I wonder if Ashby has that same connection, just having the childhood in general, like where you did do these things, you can think back on it. But you're seeing it now as an adult instead of seeing it as a younger age for the first time. So it'll just be cool to see how what you think about it when that time comes.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching the first one, definitely, maybe even the second one in like real time when they came out, as a kid ish. But yeah, that's my only memory. I don't think I made it to the third one, certainly.
Oh, you
and
would
not
remember the
definitely not
third?
the fourth one.
Yeah, you definitely would
Yeah.
remember the third one. Cause
You've got a Hamilton type balling coming for you in the third one.
yes,
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
something to look forward to.
Cool.
All right. So this is a new segment that was actually Ashby came up with this. It's called In Development. There are a lot of sequels rumored to be coming out over the next couple of years, so we're going to do a rapid fire discussion. I'll name the movie that's rumored to be in development. You let me know your thoughts. We're going to start with The Mummy 3. Is that right? The Mummy 3? Or is it Mummy 4?
I think they're starting over. I think it's just The Mummy right now,
Okay.
like in development, because there was like The Mummy 1 and 2, and then there was The Scorpion King, which didn't even have Brendan Fraser in it.
It was like a
Or it
prequel.
did.
It was like a prequel with the Rock's character from The Mummy 2.
Rock Dwayne Johnson.
Correct. And then there was the remake of The Mummy with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. So like I don't know if they've really been transparent about how this remake, requel, whatever, how this is going to go. So I think it's just The Mummy for now.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz. I'm pretty sure either like the guy who played, oh gosh, I'm gonna forget his name. But anyway, it seems like the full or almost the full cast of characters is back. So I mean, they could film the table read, and I would go see it in theaters.
Okay.
That's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't seen the other movies in forever. I know I saw at least the first 3 that we've talked about here anyway, in theaters. But beyond that, I don't remember hardly anything about them. But I feel like Brandon Fraser's in the last handful of years or more has really been on like a giant comeback with stuff. And so he's been doing really well. And I would love to see it. I mean, I would have interest enough to go see it. I would like to kind of watch some of the old stuff just to kind of get a glimpse into the memory of what it was, not to compare it, but just being so far removed from it. I don't remember a lot about it. So I remember the ride at, I think it's Universal, but either way, that's kind of my depth. And I'm not like hardly invested in it, but I would be interested to see it when they do come out with it.
I probably will pass. I just did not really get into The Mummy, the originals. Maybe if I rewatched them now, maybe I wouldn't enjoy them, but it's just not on my radar. So, The Grinch 2.
I don't know how true it is. I feel like it's at least made its rounds to seem more true now. I feel like every few years you would see something about this, about a possibility of it coming back out. But it was literally, I think, a week or so ago or two that we started seeing more, at least on social media, that wasn't just AI looking junk type things that were popping up saying,
AI slop.
yeah. This time it actually seemed like more people were actually like invested. Jim Carrey, at least, is rumored to have said, he's interested in this to see where it goes. I know he did say that, at least from what I've read, so again, this may be all false stuff, but he had said, if they were able to do it where he's not having to do as much intense makeup and prosthetics and stuff, he would be interested in doing it again. I don't know. Like for me, that was one of my major things of liking that movie about Whoville in general, just how amazing Whoville looked. His character, just, if you've listened to any of our old stuff on the podcast from years previous, I'm more of I love seeing that type of aesthetic versus just a ton of CGI that just gets poured on everything.
Right.
But
More
I do think we're,
practical.
You're
yes.
going to love my useless aggression today.
Yeah. I think we're far enough along now that CGI is somewhat better, where you can blend it better now, where it's not just full blown scenes. Don't get me wrong, people use it wrong or, poorly, but I just think it's better than what it previously was. As long as it's not just Jim Carrey CGI the entire movie, like if you take parts of his features and CGI it so it's not as intense on him, sure. Like I think that can work. But overall, as long as they don't just CGI the entire thing, I think there's just something really beautiful about Whoville, especially in the first one. Just, just the setting was just really great and, felt very real. So I don't know if it'll happen, if it's just a bunch of rumored crap or if it actually is going to happen, but I definitely think if they do, I will go see it. Definitely, because it is my favorite Grinch movie out of the three. We've had that whole discussion on another episode as well, but we'll see where it goes. I don't know, again, if it's real or not, but hopefully, if it is real, I hope it's done well. I don't know where they'll go with the story at this point, but.
So I rewatched the Jim Carrey Grinch this past Christmas, first time in years, kind of fresh eyes. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I really actually enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was really good. I don't know where I stand on a Grinch 2, just because, again, things you mentioned story-wise, like, that's going to have to be an original story, and maybe it'll be good. But I don't know. I get a little, I don't know, just a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Apprehensive. When you start getting away from source material like that. But again, maybe it would be great. I'd be willing to give it a chance. I don't know if I'd be clamoring to go see it, but I'd be willing to give it a chance if this does turn out to be a real thing.
And I think beyond everything with what I said, thinking as you're talking to, I'm more excited of the scenery and the aesthetic of everything. But then at the end, I did come back to, I don't even know what in the world the movie would be about. Yeah. And so it's one of those things, if the story's good enough for everybody to come back and make it, sure. But if the story's not there, like, as much as I'd love to just see the stuff, but I do hopefully they can come across something where they feel like it is worth actually making as the story's that good. Hopefully they'll do that, and it's not just a money grab for people that were, around the first time it happened. But
Yeah, I would say I concur with all of y'all's thoughts. I love how the Grinch Stole Christmas. I love every iteration, including the Benedict Cumberbatch
Yes.
cartoon from a few years ago with is it Tyler the Creator?
Tyler the Creator,
soundtrack?
yeah.
Which was like fire. But I agree with what you guys are saying, which is like every iteration of the Grinch has been based on the plot of the original Dr. Seuss book and just sort of a version of that. We never go beyond that. We may like bounce around a little bit and bring in things that are sort of like what would it be called when you sort of like, oh gosh, you guys, this cold is killing me. Embellish, when you embellish things,
Right.
but we never really get away from that like plot line. So yeah, I don't know what a continuation of Jim Carrey's Grinch would look like. I love Jim Carrey and I love his version of the Grinch. I think it's hysterical, but we have completed that narrative arc in the first one. So like, what does it look like? Like, is he married to Martha May Huvier?
That's what I was thinking, like, because the end of the last one, that's kind of where they were, at least not married, but we're together. So it's like, does he have Grinch kids now?
Right.
And
right.
you know, Cindy Lou Who's kids and his kids go to school now. Are they friends, enemies, like, or just none of that?
Yeah.
It's just where your brain goes.
Yeah. 24 Jump Street. I know there was a rumored Jump Street Men in Black like team up movie called MIB 23 that did not
That sounds
ever
insane.
make it out of developmental, so that's why they're calling it
I wonder
24 Jump
why.
Street.
Mm-hmm.
But that 24 Jump Street's rumored to be in development, or you know, whatever. I never saw the first two.
I didn't either.
So,
I saw the first one, and I'm not familiar enough with it to really say a whole lot about it. I just remember the first one. I did see it in theaters when it came out a long time ago. I did laugh a lot, but beyond that, I'm not connected. So I don't know.
It's just not my kind of comedy, to be honest. So
Yeah.
it's been coming across my feed more and more that it might actually be happening, but it's just not. And there are people in my life who are excited about it, but I'm not one of them. So,
all right, Hocus Pocus 3. I would go ahead and say that yes, this I would watch this.
Yes, this seems to be confirmed by Disney.
Okay.
I don't know if they've confirmed cast, because I think what made waiting for the second one so worth it after decades was that we got the original trio back. I'm not really interested in a Hocus Pocus that doesn't include the original Sanderson sisters
Right.
and the women that play them. So that would be my only caveat to not being excited about this.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I really, when they came out with Hocus Pocus 2 a couple of years ago, it was must-see television. It was fantastic. And so that would be my only hang-up as well. Are we getting the original sisters? I don't need anyone else necessarily. I do want a good story. I felt like they did a really good job of doing the story in Hocus Pocus 2. So give us a story worth watching and give us those three sisters, and I'm there. I'll watch it the day it comes out on Disney Plus, because I think Hocus Pocus 2 was a Disney Plus release as well. So
It was.
So yeah, I'm down for that.
I'm excited for it. I'm trying to remember how the second one ended. Did like the sisters get obliviated forever, or are they just gone again and then may come back again?
I'm pretty sure it was very, very like the first one, where like
Okay.
there's a way in which you could bring them back again.
There's a Deus Ex Machina. I'm sure. I mean, they'll come up with something.
Oh sure,
Right.
and I'm not saying that in hopes that they don't come back, because I would. That's definitely kind of something that they need to be there. But I was just trying to remember, did they end the second one in a way?
The witches are back.
I don't know if like this new one, if it would be based on that younger generation passing it down, because there were a lot more like younger kids involved. Not younger, but just a new generation kind of involved in this main storyline. So I don't know if it would be focused on them more without the other or not. And
That's
we didn't
the thing
get
about kids in Disney movies, Kyle. We get
sure.
older; they say the same age.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew McConaughey.
I'm trying to remember, because the younger sister wasn't in the second movie, right? I feel like she was one of the ones that didn't.
I don't think any of the original cast members came back, except
I
the
was trying to
witches.
remember.
Oh
So I
my
mean, I
gosh,
feel
now
like
I'm
if he
trying
could bring
to
some of them
remember.
back.
So I'm looking up the plot right now. Basically, there was Winifred was wanting to get like all the power, and Mary and Sarah fade to dust. Let's see. It sounds very confusing as I'm reading it, but I'm sure it would make sense watching it. But there was a post-credit scenes where there was another black flame candle, so it does kind of open up the door for, I guess, returns, I suppose. And as the kids leave, the girls leave, a crow identical to the one that the mother witch shapeshifted into flies overhead. So, yeah. We'll have to definitely do like a deeper dive on Hocus Pocus 2 in October for Halloween. Just kind of give some more thoughts on that. But yeah. And the last movie I have listed is Princess Diaries 3. Yeah, you sound like my wife. She's all in on Princess Diaries.
Oh my
I feel like Eric is the same way. I feel like I saw the first one. I don't think I've ever seen the second one.
I haven't seen any of them.
Gosh.
I think I would.
The second one's so good.
I'm not against it. I just don't think I have.
I'm not against it either. But I think these movies came out again at a time where I just wasn't watching these kinds of movies.
You weren't watching chick flicks, Eric? Come on.
Not at this. Not at when did Princess Diaries one come out? Like what, 2007, 8, 6?
6?
Yeah, I mean, so probably
Something like
not.
that.
It's probably in college and too cool to watch it. So
Oh my gosh, they're so good. Delightful. The second one about Mia trying to find a someone to marry because of this like weird royal decree where she has to be queen, she has to have a prince consort basically.
yeah,
And then it's very like her and Chris Pine's character is very enemies to lovers. It's really well done. And sometimes when you go to watch a sequel like that with something that beloved, you're like, how are they going to do this? But it was so well done. And I think similar to Hocus Pocus and similar to The Devil Wears Prada, which we just saw, speaking of Anne Hathaway, when you wait so long for something because the people involved want to do it right, I think that bodes well
For sure.
for how it will be received. And so Princess Diaries 3 is something that I think the people involved have waited a really long time to do it in a way that will give like service to the fans and will honor a lot of the original movies, but also the books. Because remember, the first movie is based on a book series. And so there is sort of context for a continuation
okay.
as far as storyline goes. So yeah, I'm really interested to see. And it seems like this has moved out of just talk and into actual development as far as like casting and a script goes from what I've seen in interviews, especially with Anne Hathaway. But I mean, I have my fingers crossed.
All I know is in Ted Lasso, Trent Crimm's favorite Julie Andrews character is in Princess Diaries. As Roy Kent excitedly exclaims, "F yeah, Princess Diaries."
That's right. Exactly. Exactly.
So, cool. All right. Well, we're wrapping this block by going around the table. Ashby, Kyle, give me. Well, actually, you're not here for the table, so going
Virtual
around the
table.
screens, the virtual table. Ashby, Kyle, give me the one thing you are absolutely checking out in July.
So, as of the airing of this episode, it will probably actually already be out because it hits Netflix July 1. But Enola Holmes 3.
So Ivy and I watched Enola Holmes 1 last night. I have not seen them, and it's such a good movie. Oh my gosh.
Isn't
So
it delightful?
we're probably going to watch Enola Holmes 2 at some point this weekend, and then we will definitely dive into Enola Holmes 3 as it comes out. So very
So good.
delightful, very delightful. And I had an epiphany as we were watching it at the very end of the movie last night, where I was like, Sherlock looks a lot like Superman from the Zack Snyder universe. Like, oh, it's Henry Cavill. It is Superman.
Are you serious right now, Eric?
I did not pick
That
up
is
on
funny.
it until the very end. I was like,
maybe
Ivy,
Clark Kent could work in a real world.
that's
Wow.
Superman.
Wow.
Kyle.
Put him in a 3-piece suit and he's unrecognizable.
Yep. I have a feeling we'll probably go see the new Moana because Sky saw a trailer for it yesterday. And she's like, I want to see it. I want to see it. So we'll probably get the whole family back together. We did a big trip this past Wednesday to see Toy Story. So it was my niece, nephew, sister, my mom, dad,
Nice.
all of us. So imagine we'll probably go back and do the same thing for Moana. But beyond that, one I really would like to do, but I'm going to have to like get some friends to go do, is to see Jackass Best and Last. Beyond what else I've been watching lately, I've watched a lot of interviews with stuff because it's, coming out, premiering this week and stuff. So there's been a whole lot of interviews and just coverage in general of those guys. And as crazy as the context and the subject is of all their movies, that's a part of my important years growing up, like teenage years, just of becoming who I was as a person. And just a lot of friendships that I had. A lot of it was just big at the time. Even my coworker and I, we're friends, still are friends. But I remember us, reenacting and making our own videotapes and stuff from back then and doing the same thing like a lot of other friends did. And we were just talking about similar stuff the other day and just seeing like Bam's parents, that's its own issues. Bam, and the Johnny Knoxville and Jeff Tremaine. But it seems like maybe they're going to work that out. But beyond that, like his parents were there at the premiere, and it's just been emotional even just to see that, like to see them talking with Johnny and everybody else, and even seeing Johnny being emotional, talking up to them and stuff, and you keep seeing it getting replayed, and obviously it's because it's, this will get views, push that everywhere, but it's just, they're legit real people, and it just reminded me a lot of, friends' parents growing up, where you did a lot of crazy things at their house, and they were just kind of involved in it by being there, but, there's just a lot of that memory lane type thing that I feel like for nostalgic of it, it's a weird movie to say you want to be nostalgic with friends and go see, but it's definitely a topic and just craziness in it. But I think it would be fun just to have a fun night to go see that. Just kind of rekindle some memories and stuff with some friends and stuff to see that. So I'm hoping to figure out a time to do that in July.
That's awesome. You might not enjoy my useless aggression at the end of the episode. It's based on something you mentioned.
I'm fine with whatever.
I mentioned this earlier. I will be absolutely watching The Bear season 5. That is my one to watch for July. Super, super excited to see how this show ends. So yeah. That wraps up the one to watch and block 1. Make sure you add all those things to your queues immediately. But before we switch gears from our news and we head into our big block 2 draft, we need to take a quick second to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's episode. Are you tired of your smartphone autocomplete predicting things you didn't even mean to say? Do you miss the raw tactile thrill of the mid-2000s mobile experience? Then you need to check out the T9 Dictionary Project.
Oh man, the absolute peak of human engineering?
Exactly, Kyle. The T9 Dictionary Project is a brand new browser extension and smartphone app that forces you to text exactly like it was 2004. We're talking about pressing the 7 key 4 times just to type the letter S. No touchscreens, no emojis, just pure, uninterrupted thumb workouts. It even comes with a custom Nokia 3310 skin and a library of monophonic ringtones.
Can I finally text someone "see you later" and have it feel authentic again?
That is CUL8R. And absolutely, Ashby is the ultimate way to stay nostalgic while driving your friends completely insane. Head over to T9dictionaryproject.com and use promo code WTWShow to get 50% off your premium ringtone bundle. That's T9dictionaryproject.com, promo code WTWShow. Text like a millennial again.
Disclaimer, I don't know if that's a real website, and we actually don't have a real promo code.
Oh, okay.
You can dream.
You can dream. Yes.
I miss the power of being able to text my friends without ever taking the phone out of my pocket.
It is nice. All right, folks. Spider-Man Brave New World is coming in, by the time this thing airs, less than a month. We bought our tickets today. They went on sale. We all have great seats at the Alamo Draft House, and we are super excited. A little triple date action for the main host here. And out of all of our excitement and hype, what do we want out of this movie? What do we want out of a Spider-Man movie? We thought, well, what if we built our own Spider-Man movies? And of course, I love a good draft. So here we go. This is the Build the Best Spider-Man Movie Draft. I have no doubt this will be peaceful, not chaotic, weird, maybe intense. Anyway, welcome. First up, our friendly Spider neighborhood spoiler warning. We will possibly be discussing all Spider-Man theatrical release movies, including movies from the MCU, Sam Raimi trilogy, the 2 Andrew Garfield movies, the Spider-Verse movies, and even the Sony Spider-Man spin-off movies. If you don't want to be spoiled on any of those, then maybe come back and listen to this after you've watched what you want to watch. Before we get into the draft order, the rules, the categories, let's set the stage a little bit by establishing our own relationship with Spider-Man as a character from the comics, from the movies, TV shows, without tipping your hand to your draft strategy. What is your relationship with Spider-Man like, and what do you look for in a Spider-Man film? Who would like to go first?
I'll go. I feel like my first intro was the Spider-Man the animated series. Growing up on TV, I feel like it's not talked about a lot, or as much as it should be. Batman the animated series is amazing. Not taking anything from that, but I feel like that's where everybody talks about. They don't talk about the Spider-Man one as much. But it was really big, and then from that, I feel like I saw at least, I know I had a few like VHS tape of the 80s Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Nice.
Where it was like Firestar and Iceman like team up. And so I feel like that's where my main core knowledge of Spider-Man came from. We did get the movies later. I did get into some comics later. Video games and stuff at the time were big too. So I feel like there's a lot of that's where it came from, but my core Spider-Man stuff definitely came from the animated series.
So for me, I'll give Ashby some time to compose her thoughts. For me, I also kind of started on the '94 Spider-Man series, Fox series. I agree. You hear a lot of things about Batman. You hear a lot about the X-Men animated series from '89 because those were like the two other main superhero shows on Fox at the time. And Spider-Man, that series kind of gets a little lost in the dust because there's been so many different Spider-Man animated series since then as well. But this was like the first one that kind of, I don't know, like Batman in the sense that he has a huge rogues gallery of really unique villains, and it does explore lots of different themes of how to, relationships, how to deal with grief, how to multitask, juggle, a secret versus, your job or your school or working it out with your the people in your life. I And then from there, obviously the Sam Raimi movies were huge in the early 2000s. I can still hear Chad Kroger's Hero in my head right now as I'm speaking. And they see that. Anyway,
Melody in my head the rest of the day.
there we go. You're welcome.
Mhm.
And Spider-Man's just always been someone that, he's just trying to do the right thing, and he has these extraordinary powers, but that doesn't define him. His moral code defines him, and he loves the people that are in his life, even if they aren't in his life the way he wants them to be. Like, it's always like kind of a big, like with MJ or Mary Jane, like she doesn't know he's Spider-Man in a lot of these movies, and he has to sacrifice a personal relationship with her in order to kind of save New York or whatever, which damages his relationship with her, and he can't really juggle both of those. And so, like for me, a good Spider-Man movie just kind of has that kind of conflict a little bit, and him kind of just understanding the reaches of his powers and how to use them responsibly. But yeah, I think Spider-Man is probably my favorite superhero of all time. So
Cool. I'm going to come in on the opposite end of that spectrum because it was very clear to me as I was trying to do this draft that, like, I just don't know a lot about Spider-Man
oh
or his
no.
universe.
Oh wow.
Um, and maybe I missed some movies along the way because I remember getting into Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Like, I remember
Mhm.
watching those movies and watching that original sort of like 3-movie arc and
Yes.
being like, "Oh, Spider-Man's kind of cool. Like, this is really well done and the special effects are good." And this was well before the MCU, and so being able to sort of like get that superhero hit, but just being like, "Oh, like Spider-Man." Like, I was watching X-Men 97 as a kid. I was clearly into superheroes. I never really watched the animated Spider-Man series. He just wasn't really, like, on my list of, like, top superheroes. He was cool, but I clearly knew nothing about his lore or how any of, like, the Spider-Man stuff works. I think I missed, for some reason, maybe because of college and grad school, I missed the Andrew Garfield run as
Mhm.
Spider-Man, and I think I probably caught those movies later in syndication on like FX or something.
Right.
But it had been a while. And so then going into Tom Holland's Spider Man, and especially in the last movie when they brought the other Spider-Mans back, and I
Mhm.
was kind of like, I don't remember. I don't remember all these villains, and I don't remember like how like Dallas Bryce Howard played Gwen Stacy. What? I don't remember
Mhm.
that. I got confused on like who was playing who in what version. And so for this draft, I had to go back and do a lot of like YouTubing and like IMDBing to get my facts straight. And so I really, really enjoy Tom Holland's iteration of Spider-Man. And I think each version of Spider-Man has something to offer. I just I just like watching it, and then, like, that's it. I'm not deep diving. I don't know anything about the tech. So it was very clear to me going into this that I was like, oh, I'm actually a very surface level Spider-Man fan, apparently. Oopsies.
This will be fun then, because I mean the great thing about
Yeah.
this, like the idea here is we are putting together a movie using already like parts or whatever, and it's a way for us to kind of show our creativity and to craft the story the way we want to see it. So I would say you don't have to be super well versed into Spider-Man to create your own narrative arc. You're just taking pieces together. It's basically like you're taking toys and making the story together. It's just so
Eric, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, that's fan fiction.
That's basically what we're doing.
Yes.
This is right down your alley. So all right, let's run through the rules. We have 3 drafters. We have 6 categories. The first category is Spider Person, not Spider-Man, but Spider Person. You are selecting a specific Spider Person from a theatrical release. This could be Spider-Man or it could be someone else. More than one of us could be selecting a Peter Parker, but only one of us could take Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker. So you have to be specific in who you're selecting. But there are other Spider beings in the Spider-Man universe, and they are eligible to be taken in this spot as well. Next, we have a villain. If there are multiple versions of that villain in the movies, you are picking a specific version, and the other versions are still available to be selected. Third category is the +1. Pretty flexible category. This can be a sidekick, a love interest, what have you. You still need to be specific with what actor or actress you're taking. For example, you cannot just select Gwen Stacy, but you must specify Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy, or from Spider-Man 3, Bryce Dallas Howard's Gwen Stacy. That's the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3. Fourth category, the mentor. This could be a guardian, teacher, family member, anyone who can be a mentor to your Spider Person. Very flexible on who fits in this category. As long as they appear in a Spider-Man movie, you can put them in as your mentor. That means if you want to have the football coach from Spider-Man Homecoming as your mentor, you could do that. It would be kind of weird, but sure. Fifth category is tech, gadget, or accessory. Every Spider Person comes with like a base suit, and in this category, you're drafting an upgrade to your suit or a separate piece of tech or a gadget to assist your Spider Person. Some examples would be the Edith sunglasses or the Edith glasses from Spider-Man Far From Home, the Iron Spider legs from Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, or the Karen AI from Spider-Man Homecoming. And then last but not least is the wild card. This could be anything. You could double up from another category, grab a second villain or another sidekick or an extra piece of tech, or you could grab something that didn't fit in the other categories like a director or a soundtrack. So to recap, you will draft in any order the following: a Spider Person, the main character of your movie; a villain, the main villain of your movie; a +1, which would be a sidekick or love interest; a mentor, someone to guide your main character; tech, gadget, a suit, upgrade, or piece of tech to assist your main character; and then a wild card can be anything. And then when we're done drafting, pitch us your movie, your idea, or your plot. I'm going to regret asking this question, but are there any questions?
No.
So random draft order will be done the day of. I'm actually going to do it right now. I've got my phone. I've got our names in random.org, and I'm just going to hit again, and this will give us our draft order. Ashby, you are drafting first. Kyle, you are drafting second. I regretfully am drafting third.
I'll turn my iPad and make sure you don't steal my people.
Well, same. I don't want you to steal mine either, so I'm turning my laptop a little bit. So I'm a little upset about drafting third because there is a specific story I want to tell. And if one of my characters gets taken early, then I'm going to have to really scramble. So
my brain's that way right now where it's like, I'm not even connected to your Wi-Fi, and I have one substitute out of all the categories.
I have no substitutes.
And so it's like, if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to
we're
scramble
gonna have to
fast.
really scramble on the fly. But Ashby, you get the first pick. So you will be drafting first.
Okay. I am not necessarily going to go in order, but I am going to go ahead and draft my Spider Person because I don't want it to get taken.
Absolutely.
And I am drafting specifically Tobey Maguire's
Oh, wow.
Spider-Man when the suit is taken over by Venom.
Okay. So we're just going to
symbiote.
give you Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and that can be part of your plot. But yes, but Tobey Maguire is off the board then.
Venom's still on the board.
Venom is still on the board, yes.
But
Correct.
he's a different person per se.
Yes.
Never would have thought that Tobey Maguire taking #1 spot on the draft here.
I am very excited because I was thinking he is not the one that I would have taken here in my specific story in my mind. But I think it's a great first pick. I think for a lot of people, especially of our age, that's the Spider-Man we grew up on and we started with. So I think that's a great pick.
Also,
Kyle.
that third movie got a lot of flack, but I liked the darker edges of it. So
you didn't even remember Bryce Dallas Howard in that movie. I'm joking.
Okay.
Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, thumbs up.
Fair enough. Kyle, are you going to break my heart here?
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm going Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Okay, good.
Oh, that didn't work in my favor.
Okay, good.
I was going to see if you wanted to do a trade where I would trade you and then I get your next pick instead, but
that would be fun. But no, you're
not
good.
Today. Okay.
Tom Holland. Why are you picking Tom Holland?
I had him or Andrew Garfield down. With the story I have in mind, I thought either one of these could make it work. Okay. With hopefully the rest of the way this works out, it'll make sense. But
all right,
hopefully so. That's how I'm going with Tom Holland. I enjoyed all of them, but I think, again, for the story I have in mind, it works.
Well, that's great. I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. I'm really excited to see what you're going to do with him. But I am thrilled. With joy in my heart, I get to select who I don't think is the best Spider-Man. I know his movies got a lot of flack, but I'm going to try to correct the wrong here. I'm going to select Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man as my spider person. And I will just go ahead and let you know, not all of my plot, but I'm going to be basically putting together the unfinished trilogy of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Okay. And I'm going to try to make The Amazing Spider-Man 3 the best it can possibly be. And then with that in mind, I get the next pick because we're doing a snake draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and select my +1, and I'm going to be taking Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy. I know she died in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Anybody can come back.
Anybody can come back. So I will be taking Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy as my +1. And I'm super excited that I get to tell this story.
Nice.
So, Kyle, you're up for your second pick.
Well, first off, it just clicked in my head that Ashby chose emo Tobey Maguire for her Spider-Man.
Yes.
So that makes the alley. I'm excited for that story. Mm-hmm. Just because you took Emma Stone, I'm going to go ahead and say my +1.
Okay.
I'm going to do Bryce Dallas Howard's Gwen Stacy.
Oh, okay.
But in this movie, she is going to be Ghost Spider. So she's not just Gwen Stacy. She is Ghost Spider, Ghosty, Spider-Gwen, whatever you want to call her.
So, funnily enough, my Gwen Stacy's also going to be Spider-Gwen.
Nice.
This is the story I'm telling, so that's pretty cool.
I just had to get her into the theaters. My daughter loves her. I think she's a great character. So just the character itself, not necessarily Bryce Dallas Howard isn't her choice. But either way, I definitely wanted to bring It's Time for Ghost Spider to make it to the theaters.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Nice. Ashby, you are up for 2 picks now.
Okay. I'm going to go with my +1.
Okay.
Which is going to be James Franco's Harry Osborn.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I think that I'm going to do more of like a reclamation storyline for him.
Okay.
Because Harry was actually a really good friend. He was just going through a lot of trauma, okay? And twice when it mattered, he did the right thing. Even though he was set up twice to be a villain. And he really wasn't. So he's my +1. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw out my villain.
Okay.
And I picked, this is kind of where I start going off reservation. I picked Adrian Toombs, Vulture.
Michael Keaton's. Okay, I like this a lot.
He was a good, complicated villain. So I'm going to go with him.
I really like that. I really love the Michael Keaton's Vulture. The Vulture's a great Spider-Man villain, and to see Tobey Maguire's version interacting with him is going to be really great. Mm-hmm. So, Kyle, you're up for your third pick.
I'm going to do my villain. I'm going to do Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin.
Nice.
So we're going for a much more serious movie than what we've seen.
Okay. Very cool. I like that a lot.
I'll explain my story later, but
I'm not nitpicking here. Has he appeared in a movie?
He may be in the next one.
Okay. I'm again not nitpicking.
It's a Netflix series that is in the same story.
I'm going to allow the pick regardless.
He's in the same world, and it's been acknowledged that he is in that world. So
then I'm cool with it, 100%. I would have been cool regardless. So a little darker movie from you and Tom Holland getting to interact with Kingpin. I like that a lot. I'm going to also select my villain here. Just go ahead and take a villain off the board. I'll be selecting Tom Hardy's Venom as my villain. I know he has his own run of movies where he's kind of the anti-hero. But in this movie, he is going to be full on villainous here, kind of combining the worlds here. And then with my fourth pick, I'm going to go ahead and select a mentor, someone who can help Andrew Garfield in his grief, because again, I'm making the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Gwen Stacy is gone, or at least so he thinks, or so he believes. And he needs someone who can deal with losing and grief. And I'm going to be selecting Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock.
Screw you.
Or Daredevil.
Screw you.
As a mentor.
You're messing up my whole dang movie.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I almost chose him. But then I almost went with that before I went to you. But then I was like, no, I don't think he would choose Kingpin, but maybe somebody would choose him. I don't think with the way Eric's talking, he's going to go Daredevil.
So my movie will have.
You
messed up.
I did.
You're gonna have to use your one substitution here.
That wasn't it. My one substitution was Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
But in my movie, Matt Murdock will also kind of be on the hero side as well. But he'll be helping Andrew Garfield navigate through the stages of grief a little bit as well, but also assisting him as Tom Hardy's Venom is running roughshod over Manhattan. So, Kyle, I'm so sorry, but it's your next pick. You have your mentor slot available. You have your wild card and your tech. Where are we going to go, buddy?
I don't know, because there's one other person I thought of, but he doesn't make sense as a mentor. But I kind of want to throw him in there anyway.
I mean, you could just skip the mentor and go to another draft category.
But no, but I wouldn't. I still don't have a mentor. Is the problem?
Well, I mean, you could save your mentor for a later pick if you're not sure.
Yeah, but I don't know who else I'd put here, so I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna put him in. He's not gonna be an overarching character throughout this movie, but he's just gonna be part of to help with a flashback to make Peter get in his right mindset. We're gonna go with Bonesaw, Randy Savage, Macho Man. Bonesaw, the wrestler from the very first movie that Tobey Maguire fights in a wrestling ring, that if he stays in there long enough, he gets the money. We're going to go throw Bonesaw's ready. Yep, we're going Bonesaw here, baby.
As your mentor?
As my mentor. Randy Savage, Bonesaw at this point is a well-aged, retired wrestler. He's trying to do cons or whatever to get what he can just to get money because he can't get by because after losing after losing
all the characters, I did not even consider.
Yep.
R.I.P. Randy Savage.
Yep.
Bonesaw.
Bonesaw is going
as
here
a mentor
because
I love it.
I'll go ahead and explain this so I can just jump over it when it gets to my story plot. But we're just going to pretend that after Bonesaw lost to a kid wearing pajamas, he was a disgrace to the wrestling world for the rest of his life. He was put out. Nobody cared about him anymore. So we're going to have a moment here where Spidey, because to be fair, Bonesaw doesn't know which Spidey it was, and we're just going to pretend that nobody does. But we're going to talk about this where he's going to run into him. Bonesaw's going to hate Spider-Man. He's ruined his whole life, his whole career, everything else. But they're going to bond over the fact that Uncle Ben died that night. And then it turns out Randy Savage, also lost his dad or uncle somewhere in timeline in history, or Bonesaw did. They're going to have some moments here where Kingpin has really screwed up Bonesaw's life as well. Whereas anytime Bonesaw was trying to make a comeback in life with any other opportunities he had, Kingpin just really screwed him over. And so they're going to have some bonding in that, where as a very old, aging Bonesaw is now a little bit more level-headed, maybe a little kooky, because we need a little bit of that too, where, there's a lot of other villains or, characters in some other movies that, they're very deep and have some great moments, but they're also completely oblivious and kooky on the other side of things, so you kind of ignore certain things. So we're going to have Randy Savage at least cut like 3 promos during this whole time where Peter just finally understands like this is the way he talks and you have to look through what he's saying. So, whenever Kingpin has got Peter down, he thinks the whole world's, collapsing around him. Bonesaw's going to remind him that the cream rises to the top. And, Spidey's going to take that somehow and run with it. Also, Slim Jims is going to be a major sponsor for our dark movie here.
I love it.
So
to recap, Kyle, you have Tom Holland's Spider-Man,
Yep.
Bryce Dallas Howard's Gwen Stacy.
Yep.
You
Vincent
have
D'Onofrio's
D'Onofrio's Kingpin, and then Randy Savage's Bonesaw.
Yeah.
This is a movie that I definitely wish existed.
I mean, everybody would go because they've thought Randy Savage was dead for years. So they at least want to see what in the world are you doing here.
Well.
And plus, Bonesaw has his own underground, love. So, I mean, we used to go to hardcore shows and literally people be in the pits and go, Bonesaw's ready. So it's a thing.
I love it.
He lived through this. So
I love it.
We haven't seen him mentioned again in all these years. So he deserves it.
Wow. All right. Ashby, you're up for 2. I believe you have your mentor, your wild card, and your tech.
Yes. How do I want to do this? I'll just go ahead and tackle the mentor. I had a lot of thoughts for this one, but I felt like I just had to go old school with it. So I selected Sally Fields as Aunt May.
Oh,
that's cool. All right.
Yeah. OG. She was a good Aunt May.
She was for
a
sure.
good Aunt May, yes.
Yeah. And Sally Fields could still be a hot Aunt May, okay? How dare you?
Fair enough. Absolutely.
Nobody said she couldn't.
I saw the ads for that Tom Brady movie from a couple of years ago. I mean,
heck yeah, girl.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing her walking in on like Tobey Maguire having like a birthday party with all the kids and her just yelling like she was in Mrs. Doubtfire because he's just so oblivious. There's like farm animals everywhere.
The whole time you were Spider-Man.
The whole time.
The whole time. The whole time.
You were Spider-Man.
That vein pop out in the forehead.
Yep.
I mean,
she walks in as he's putting on his like spider ruse and she's like, the whole time. The whole time. It's like, sorry, May. I had to keep you safe.
Goodness.
All right.
Okay. Also, I know Eric loves to hear this phrase, but I cheated on tech. Actually, I didn't cheat. I didn't read.
Fair enough.
Going with this theme, I blame the medicine. And I just thought I could pick any tech or gadget from the Spider Universe. I didn't know it had to be specific to Spider-Man.
Not necessarily have to be specific to them. So
okay, I was just, as you were reading the rules, I was like, oopsies, because I picked the Green Goblin glider because
that's
that
absolutely
bomb.
That is absolutely eligible. It's actually something I considered. Okay. So yes.
Okay. Because when you were reading, I was like, wait, could we pick villain tech? Because that thing was awesome. So that's what I'm going with.
That's a fantastic pick. Like I said, it's something I actually considered as my tech as well. So I think it's a great pick. Very good pick. All right, Kyle, you have one more chance to hurt me here. There's 2 things I have on the board.
I don't think you're going to get this one because, to be fair, this one hasn't been in the movie. So I'm cheating this time.
Oh, goodness.
But it is a spider power. And so I took it and just applied it to the movie where we just haven't seen it yet. This is technically a Miles Morales power, but invisibility or active cloaking is what they call it. And with Miles Morales, it's technically like a bioelectric power that he has. But with Peter Parker, maybe it's just an upgrade that he gets to his suit. I know it's not technically in a movie, but hey, it's got to start somewhere. I more so chose this because I think, again, with the more serious theme I'm taking, I feel like it would be like a cool or scary moment where he's like in the room with Kingpin, who's doing like horrible things, and you're finding out, big plot stuff, and he's just kind of hidden there. It reminded me a lot of like Harry Potter, like and Snape being in the same room together, where he kind of senses something's going on in there, or like slightly hears him or hears something like going on, but he doesn't see him, and so you're there, and that maybe does the same way where you can see him, but they can't. But there's just that scary moment of, is he going to get caught? Is he not going to get caught? How are we going from here? So a different sort of power for the type of story I'm telling.
Very cool. Very cool. I like that. So I'm up for my last 2 picks, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I have tech and I have wild card. I'm going to pick my tech thing first because I'm actually a little unsure about if I'm going to pick my wild card the way I have it listed. But I'm going to be picking the Spider-Verse Dimension Travel Watch from the Into the Spider-Verse movies. This allows people to jump from different, different dimensions or whatever within, so like you could jump from the MCU or to the Andrew Garfield, to the Spider-Verse, to wherever.
So you can jump into Ashby and I's movie.
Absolutely, if I need
so I
to.
Can you can bring Charlie Cox over to my movie so I can complete it. That was meant.
I don't think so. I think
no.
Don't look for a loophole, Kyle.
He's gonna let everything happen except the one thing I need.
I don't ever see Kyle react like that, and I'm really kind of chasing that high now. So
I'm just gonna find that open hole and I'm shoving Bonesaw into your universe to ruin it all.
And so with that, my wild card is I love Miles Morales, and I thought about taking him here, but I've got too many heroes, and I need someone who could be a hero, but might also lean towards the villainous side. I'm taking Ned Leeds from Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man movies. Jacob Batalon, I think it's his last name. But Ned Leeds is also the Hobgoblin in the comics. So he could have a villainous turn.
I feel like with the new movie that's coming out, they're kind of maybe teasing that maybe that does bit. Or doesn't happen. So but you're seeing a little bit more of that side of him.
So while he hasn't appeared as the Hobgoblin in the movies, the character is the Hobgoblin. So I'm going to use that creative freedom to possibly use that in my my movie, and that completes my lineup. Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy. We have Tom Hardy's Venom. To Kyle's chagrin, Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock / Daredevil as my mentor, Ned Leeds as my wild card, and the Spider-Verse Dimension Travel Watch as my tech. And I am thrilled to have gotten everything on my list.
Somebody had to.
Someone had to. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, you're up for your last pick. I think you have wild card left.
I do. This one, I'm more so throwing this at after credits person that just comes up just to kind of tease maybe something for the next movie. We're going to go with Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, played by Felicity Jones.
In The Amazing Spider-Man
yep.
movies. Yep.
And so she's going to be, her character in general is a love interest / anti-hero throughout the comics and the shows and stuff. So we haven't seen Black Cat yet in a movie. So I'm saying I think we'll tease that a little bit to be a possible love interest, because in this movie we haven't shown any love interest for Spidey. So not just love interest, but just a whole new character where her being an anti-hero, she does some things that are not so, praiseworthy sometimes. So at the same time, it leads you into that next movie of where you're going to go with that, and what we're going to do with it.
What is it with cat type characters in comics?
I was just thinking that
anti-villain or anti-heroes. I mean, not really. You have Catwoman in there. You have Black Cat. They're both kind of can be heroes, but aren't really heroes. Can be villains.
This is me just oblivious Kyle, just assuming like this was a long time ago when these characters were created, and they said, hey, there's a strong woman that's taking on your main character. Maybe they should love each other too. Not saying that's right, just saying in general
how the time periods were dog people.
Oh, so just in general, just didn't.
So
like
they
cats.
were just didn't like cats. So.
Okay, well,
what's worse? What's the worst animal we can think of? A cat.
I'm just now coming to the realization and Googling under the table that the Green Goblin and the Hobgoblin are 2 separate people.
That's right. Should have watched the animated series from '94.
You would have known.
Yeah.
Go back now. You may still enjoy it.
Hobgoblin has like little pumpkins and stuff.
Yep.
It's good stuff. Ashby, I think you have your last pick is your wild card pick. Is that correct?
Yes. My wild card, and it is truly, I think, a wild card, is a person.
Okay.
And that is Joe Manganiello's Flash Thompson.
Okay. All right.
Kind of a bully, but then turns out to be a good guy. Like, is one of the few people that acknowledges Peter's grief when Uncle Ben dies. I think that scene is going viral
Mhm.
again on Instagram for some reason.
It is.
And it kind of brought it back to the forefront. And I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of forgot, like, before True Blood that he was Flash Thompson, which is interesting.
Well, and you also have some flexibility
Mm-hmm.
because in the comics, Flash Thompson gets the Venom symbiote and becomes Agent Venom.
That's true.
So you
Right?
could possibly use that since you're using emo Spidey.
Mhm.
That
True.
could be a something you could use either in this movie or if your movie becomes a franchise in a future film.
There you go.
So
I was
very
totally
cool.
thinking about that.
Yes.
Mhm. I
I'm
like
just
how you
giving
plan that.
I'm just giving you free ideas.
Your first
You're
character
right
and your
there
last
with me,
character.
Eric. You're
Right.
in my brain. That's crazy.
So I'm going to go ahead and mention a few honorable mentions of characters who didn't get picked, and I'm a little shocked. Really surprised that Zendaya didn't get picked. I think we all really love her iteration of MJ.
Mhm.
I'm surprised that MJ didn't get picked in general. But two Gwen Stacy's did. Go figure. And the
Ugh.
other Gwen Stacy that I thought was going to get picked, Haley Steinfeld's Gwen Stacy from the Spider-Verse movies, was not picked.
Right.
So that really threw me. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, who I think is probably one of the best top tier villains.
Villains. Yeah.
Yes, in general, was left on the sidelines, as was Alfred Molina's Doc Ock.
Doc Ock.
And maybe it's just me. Really, I mean, because I don't think you've probably seen the Spider-Verse movies, Ashby.
I saw the first one.
The second one's on Netflix now, by the way.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
But I love Miles Morales, and he was going to be my pick to build a movie around if Andrew Garfield had gotten picked. And I'm surprised he didn't get picked. Is there any surprises that didn't get picked from either of you?
I thought about doing Nicolas Cage's one from Spider-Noir, but he's technically in Spider-Verse too, so it technically works if you're only staying in the movies. But
right,
he's a little off and funky in it in a good way, and I really enjoyed it and liked it. But I don't know that he would fit per se in the mentor role that I was going to do. The other character that just the world is still waiting to see, but would just be Deadpool. Because there's so much back and forth with him and Spidey, even just the fact of creation and names and just characters in general. Like, there's a lot there that everybody's still kind of just waiting for, but he just would not fit in what I was doing. So.
Oh, and I'll also throw a shout out. No one picked Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man or Chris Evans' Captain America. I
kind of thought as a mentor someone would snag Tony Stark, and I thought about using Happy, but he didn't fit. He didn't fit the theme of like the tone of the other stuff I picked.
I'm just really surprised you didn't try to grab Chris Evans or Sebastian Stan and shoehorn them into a Spider-Man movie, because they're both eligible to be picked.
Well, and they are two boys from Brooklyn, so you throw them into
movie,
Queens.
The wild character is Sebastian Stan, and it's just the whole movie's about him with Spider-Man just in the background. So
you see,
welcome to my brain. Sebastian Stan is always the main character.
You see Tobey Maguire swing by in the background, and that's it. That's the movie.
That's it. That's it.
That's his one role. So real quick, pitch us your movie and just like your idea for what your movie is going to look like, and then we'll move on.
I'm going to go first because I'm going to be really honest. The NyQuil took me out before I could flesh out my plot. So I don't really have one. There was going to be like something about the, Venom taking over the suit and like Tobey Maguire going like edgy and emo, and then him coming across the Green Goblin glider and getting on it, and then the symbiote also taking over the glider. And so then like Spider-Man is gone like full, dark side. And then Harry and Flash do like a buddy cop team up as like Peter's friends to kind of like pull him back from the edge. And then I lost the plot.
Okay, and the Vulture's in there too.
Yeah, but I never got around to him and Sally Fields. So,
hey, fair enough.
Yeah,
it's a good start.
Yeah,
it's an interesting.
And then
start.
I fell asleep.
Fair enough. Kyle,
I'm gonna have to change mine just a little because of things that happen. We're in a world
because
again.
Of Eric.
Yeah. I said most likely we're on like the edge of a R-rated movie due to like violence, but also just a realistic, down-to-earth version and setting of this movie, where we're not just full-blown CGI'd everything, not just crazy powers, but real like down gritty Earth type thing. In my original, we were going to have Charlie Cox as Daredevil, but he was an injured Charlie Cox, so he's no longer able to fight as Daredevil. He literally, Kingpin has like beat him to a pulp, and so he's having to reach out to Spider-Man for this help. So now I'm going to twist that, and I'm going to let Spidey at the beginning of this movie just take him on, because every other person he's fought, sure, he's had damage or had stuff, but he has never fought somebody like Kingpin or dealt with somebody. So we're going to let him get injured first, and then we're going to let Ghost Spider become a new superhero in this movie, where she's out searching, out trying to help fight the crime, and they just cross paths, and he has to help her. But by the end of the movie, he's able to get his power, his health back up enough to actually, in the climax of the movie, to team up and help. But he's going to have to kind of become that role. But we're going to have a good moment from Bonesaw to get him back in the game, to be that mentor, to get him pushed over the edge of feeling sorry for himself that he can't get any better and the world's over type deal. But yeah, I just feel like it stakes a lot higher. It's not a movie where everybody just gets, you have a fight, he's real hurt, but then the next scene he's back to his full health and normal self again. We're going to see like some healing and some stuff going on throughout this movie that takes some time to get there, but in the end, they'll conquer him.
Love it. For me, like I mentioned, I'm doing The Amazing Spider-Man 3, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man working through his grief of losing Gwen Stacy. This is going to be a multiversal movie. He is going to find Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy throughout the multiverse. Ned Leeds is going to be the person who is going to be responsible for that. He's going to be playing with his little sling ring or whatever, and he'll end up finding the dimensional travel watch or whatever in his travels, and he'll end up in Andrew Garfield's universe, and that'll give Andrew Garfield the idea of trying to find his Gwen, and he will find her in another universe, and that's how Charlie Cox gets introduced as well, because he's from Ned Leeds' universe, and this is all going to lead to them finding Venom, who gets pulled, and he wants to get back to his universe, but it's just going to be this big shindig or whatever. But you'll see Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen, and she's going to team up with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to take on Venom, and then Ned Leeds' Hobgoblin, and Charlie Cox will also be involved somehow. Hadn't really fleshed it out completely, but that's the idea of how I wanted to go. Was I want to bring back Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy and have her be Spider-Gwen, and then everything else was like I can work around everything else. So
I just want to see the one moment where Ned Leeds is using his sling ring, and all of a sudden the circle opens up, and it literally just is a flashback to Spider-Man, where Bonesaw's in the ring coming at him. Bonesaw's ready, and then Ned's like, "Nope, don't want none of that," and
nope.
like closes it up and just tries again.
How about no?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I enjoyed this exercise a little. Like I got the idea from The Ringer. They did a Build-A-Best Batman draft, and I really enjoyed listening to that a few years ago. I did not realize they had done a Build-A-Spiderman movie draft until this past week when I was doing my research. So I listened to their version, and they had some pretty good ideas too. Someone built a movie around Spider-Punk from the Spider-Verse movies, which sounded amazing. But I like our ideas too. I think we stand up to what they were doing. So we're going to move on to Block 3. We're kicking off Block 3 with a brand new game. And since it is World Cup season, we are bringing the single most stressful event in the sports history straight to the microphones. This is the pop culture penalty shootout. So Kyle and Ashby, you two are stepping up to the penalty spot today, and I'm your referee. Here's how this works. I'm going to give you a pop culture category. Once the category is live, you two will take turns back and forth naming entries that fit into that category. And you'll have I say exactly 5 seconds, but I'm not going to have a timer on you. But, you'll have 5 seconds on your turn to shout out an answer, or just give an answer. You don't have to shout, please. The moment one of you hesitates or gives a duplicate answer, or you completely freeze up, that means you miss the net. Your turn is over, and the other person gets a point. We're playing first to 3 points to crown our shootout champion.
Just in my head, I'm just envisioning me kicking, Ashby's in the goal trying to block, and then her dad, Ernie's just behind the goal yelling, just like he was in middle school. Just like yelling, what are you doing? Get over there.
out.
Kick the ball.
Check it
Get
out.
this. Yep.
You weren't a goalie though, right? I mean, you were what, defense or midfield or?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I was defense in middle school, and then in high school I moved up to midfield because I could play left or right. But that didn't matter to my dad, who thought that he had the right to yell at every kid who was underperforming on the field. And Allison Hennett was our goalie, and he yelled at her
That's
to do
right.
better. And he found out very quickly that Pat will protect her own.
Yes.
And Pat told him she's doing the best she can, and my dad said, "Yes, ma'am."
I think I was possibly there for that game. I have a vague memory of there being some kind of shouting in the stands.
Well, all I can say is after this
Yeah.
game, I'm probably going to need Pat to reach out to her dad and be like, Kyle's doing the best he can.
Yeah.
All right, so we flipped a coin before the mics went hot. Y'all didn't see it, but Kyle, you're going to be going first in round one. The category is live action movies from the 90s or 2000s that features a talking animal. So Kyle, you get to go first.
It starts when I start, right?
Yes.
Dr. Doolittle.
Okay.
Babe.
Okay.
Is Paddington that old?
Yeah, we'll count it.
Okay. Paddington Bear.
Ted.
Okay. Yes.
Little Nicky.
Mm.
Live action Little Mermaid.
No. That was over 5 seconds.
That was over 5 seconds. I was about to call it.
You got to give me some.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to lose in
Ashby.
the next couple of rounds.
That is a miss. Ashby choked under the pressure. That means
it.
Kyle draws first blood. The score is 1-0. Other movies that came to mind. I don't know if y'all ever saw Gordy, which was like the Walmart version of Babe.
I immediately thought she said baby. I was like, what's the other pig movie? But I couldn't think.
I did think of the live action Lion King.
I never think of that movie.
So I would not.
I
Men
never
in Black
think
was
of
my
that
next
movie.
one. I at least
Men
had
in
that.
Black.
Yeah. I had Men in Black stored in the chamber like for the next round, but that was literally all I had left.
Okay. So Kyle, you're up 1-0. Ashby, you will get to go first in the next round. You're leading us off this time. The category for round 2 is TGIF TV shows.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Full House.
Boy Meets World.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I don't think that
Home
was
Clarissa
Improvement.
explains it all.
No. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was not on TGIF. Okay. But I don't think Are You Afraid of the Dark was on TGIF either. That was a Nickelodeon thing. So
It was Snick, so technically that was Saturday.
You're being like you're like
You were dead serious
specific to.
about
I thought you meant like just Friday night watching across multiple networks.
specific to TGIF.
Oh,
Aired on
okay.
the
I thought you were
TGIF
including
block.
like
we
Snick
can,
at Night.
We can redo it. We can redo it since there was a little misunderstanding.
I don't remember
will
what
say that Boy
network
Meets World-
TGIF was.
ABC.
ABC.
I'm just going to keep shouting out
okay.
shows until Eric calls me
And
out again.
I will say Home Improvement was also not correct. It never aired on
Mhm.
Fridays. So, but Full House and Boy Meets World were correct. Ashby, we're going to let you pick up with the understanding that we're doing specifically the TGIF block, which was aired from 89 to 97 or 99, 89 to 99. So there's like 20 plus shows to choose from. And you were up, Ashby.
See. Growing Pains?
Also on NBC. So we're going to...
They were on my list too.
Dang
Kyle,
it.
if you can give me one, I'll...
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs was on TGIF. And, so many different... Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Step by Step, Family Matters, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Mr. Belvedere, I think, or Perfect Strangers was on the initial. Yeah. So sorry, Kyle's up 2-0. Ashby could not find the back of the net or the correct channel, and she just left.
She left. She said,
"Oh no,
said, I'm going to go watch some TGIF and figure this thing out.
Probably had internet issues. We're going to, we'll wait and see if she pops back in. Otherwise, we'll see. I'll probably end up editing this out. Did you get knocked out again? Question mark.
Did Ernie pull you from the goal? Question mark.
Oh, she's coming back.
She's coming back.
You're back. You're back.
It was weird because for a second I could hear everything you were saying. Like I got all the way to like Ashby can't find the back of the net, and then it went away.
We just assumed Ernie Brame just
yanked you from the goal.
You from the game.
He was like, "You're playing terribly." That's it.
We got a point on the board
privileges.
for Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
We're heading into round 3. This could be match point. This could be match point. Kyle, you will get to go first. Category for round 3. This might be Ashby's thing. It is 90s or 2000s movies that featured a prominent plot-heavy high school prom or homecoming dance.
Napoleon Dynamite.
High School Musical.
She's all that.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, that was my choice. There's so many more. Why am I blanking? Yep, I'm done.
Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Anybody? I mean,
I was thinking more like 90s. I was trying to think about it, but my head got in a rut.
So Ashby is on the board with round 4. Saturday morning or after school animated cartoons that premiered in the 90s. Ashby, you are on the clock. Go.
Do I go first? X-Men 97.
Batman animated series.
I think that's time, Ashby.
Yeah. Oh well.
We'll do the last one just for fun. Disney theatrical releases before the year 2000. Kyle, I'll let you go first.
Lion King.
Lion King.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Pocahontas.
Yes.
Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
Aladdin.
Yes.
Snow White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it debuted in 1939, so it was before the year.
Oh, I was thinking in the 90s. Sorry, my bad.
Before the year 2000.
Little Mermaid.
Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
Mulan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm drawing the
We're going
blank.
to call the clock there. We would have accepted Bambi, 101 Dalmatians, The Fox and the Hound, The Rescuers Down Under.
Dang it.
Am I missing anything else?
Toy Story.
Well, Toy Story is technically Pixar.
But it was Disney related.
Wasn't Disney at the time.
At the time, that's right.
Yep.
Sorry. Good thing I
know. I almost said the Swan Princess.
Lots of other great.
So Kyle wins the
But I
shootout.
have to remember that the Swan Princess and the Black Cauldron were not Disney.
Yep. The Black Cauldron was Disney, actually.
Was Brave Little Toaster Disney?
Brave Little Toaster was Disney. Sword in the Stone.
Oh, when is it?
Yeah.
What's the one that came out around the time of the Swan Princess that I always think is Disney that's not?
Is it Thumbelina or I don't know.
Oh, yes. Yes, Thumbelina.
Thumbelina. Okay, cool.
Gosh. Yeah. There was another one too, but
that is game. Kyle buries it into the top corner with a final score of 3-1. We have our official pop culture penalty shootout champion. Kyle, enjoy the trophy. Ashby, you've got to hit the showers and think about what you did. This somewhat beautifully wraps up our main segments for the day. I think Ashby's screen is frozen again. A completely reasonable, level-headed look at the pop culture we love, which means it is time to throw out all of that peace, love, and rationality completely out the window. We are moving into our final segment of the day, a little place we like to call Useless Aggression. I don't know if Ashby will be able to join us for Useless Aggression. Ashby, if you can hear us,
We'll see.
send me a text. Oh, you're back.
I can.
Screen is no longer frozen. This is the part of the show where we take the smallest, most insignificant, completely meaningless pop culture hills, and we choose to absolutely die on them. No nuance, no holding back, just pure, unadulterated, petty rage over the things that do not matter in the slightest. Kyle, I can see the veins popping in your forehead already. And Ashby, with all the frustration going on with your internet, who knows what you're going to say. We're going to unleash the beast. Ashby, before your internet drops again, we're going to let you go first.
Perfect. This is going to be super quick because as we gear up for more Marvel adventures and as Bucky Barnes returns to our screen, the meme lords have gotten back on the Bucky bandwagon. And if I see one more person call Bucky Barnes an anti-hero, I'm going to lose my mind. You keep prisoner of war, sci-fi fantasy nerd, early feminist, long-suffering hero James Buchanan Barnes' name out of your mouth. Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
That was good.
That was great.
To the point.
Short. It kind of really encapsulates what useless aggression is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Kyle, do you want to go last or do you want to go now?
I'll go now. It's fine.
Go for it.
So a few weeks ago, I needed to pick something up, quick lunch so I could get back to work and finish some things up. So I went ahead on the Taco Bell app, placed my order, and drove over there. There were a few cars in the drive-thru, but that's usually normal. So I hopped in a line, cars got behind me, and then we proceeded to wait. After a few minutes, no one moved. Then I realized that we had been sitting there so long that the drive-thru line was now backed up to the highway. We waited, and then we waited some more, and then finally we waited even more. 1 hour and 15 minutes later, I finally got my food. And you best believe that taco was so soggy that it stuck to the paper and fell apart just as you would expect it to. Now, I can understand sitting on the toilet for an hour and 15 minutes after eating your Taco Bell, but waiting in line for an hour and 15 minutes just to get your Taco Bell, there's not enough time in the day to handle that or digest it. I know what you're thinking. There's no way I would have sat there for that long. Kyle's an idiot. Well, I don't know how your Taco Bell works, but once you get in the line at ours, you're trapped. There's no turning. There's no leaving. There's literally nowhere for you to go except to stare at the back bumper of the car in front of you. As I'm leaving, I look and the entire restaurant is full. And I'm talking every seat, every booth has a person in it. So I think to myself, oh, well, that's why it took so long. They're just super busy, really busy day, crazy things. Then I realized not a single person in the restaurant's eating. They're all waiting for their food. Every person is at a table or a chair or a booth, standing room only, not even that. Nobody has their food. It looked like there were only 2 employees there that day. So I'm not ranting and blaming the employees. I'm sure they were doing the absolute best, and the others were supposed to be there that day and they either called out or no-showed, something like that. But this is useless aggression. So I get to rant about sitting in a drive-thru line long enough that I get a sunburn from my elbow sitting out the window in hopes of talking to somebody at the drive-thru window. I've been back since, and it was way better. And let me tell you, I've never been so hesitant in my life to spend $8.75, afraid that I was signing my life away to another afternoon vacation at the local Taco Bell. It's crazy.
We just lost Ashby.
She was upset. She said, I'm never going to Taco Bell again. I actually posted this one online for you folks, and a lot of you agreed and immediately knew which Taco Bell I was talking about and joined in. And my coworker said, I have not been back since I waited an hour for some nachos and cheese. So,
is it the one near the Walmart?
It is.
Okay, yeah.
I give them credit. I don't blame any of those employees.
They're just doing the best they can, but
there literally was 2 people in there trying to service everything.
An hour
and 15 minutes
because you literally can't pull out of that.
No,
line.
You can't. There's nowhere to go.
Oh my gosh,
you're stuck literally with not gutter, but like cement on both sides of you. You can't just leave.
I would have asked someone to pull up so I can get out. I mean,
they all were waiting, hoping somebody would pull up.
Wow.
So it's just how it goes.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and do my useless aggression. Ashby will just hear it on the episode.
I'm looking forward to this. You've referenced it multiple times already. So
here we go. My wife and I were at the movies to watch Toy Story 5 last week. And one of the previews was for the new Moana movie. Not Moana 3 or Moana 2. Moana, the live-action remake of Moana. Are you kidding me, Disney? Moana came out in 2016. It is barely a decade old. The original animated movie is gorgeous. The colors are vibrant. The water physics are a masterpiece, and it looks practically flawless on a modern 4K TV. Why do we need a live-action version of a movie that is still practically warm from the oven? And let's talk about the phrase live action for a second. There is nothing live about that preview I saw. It's a real actor standing in front of a green screen surrounded by 100% CGI ocean, 100% CGI lava monster, and 100% CGI glowing grandma ghost. It is literally just a slightly less colorful, hyper-realistic, desaturated version of the exact same digital asset files. You didn't remake the movie, you just ran the original animation through a grit and concrete filter to make it look like a Christopher Nolan film. And the worst part, The Rock is playing Maui again. Now, I love Dwayne Johnson, but he didn't even have to change characters. He's doing a live-action copy and paste of his own animated character from 10 years ago. What are we doing here? Listen to me, Hollywood. Animation is not a lesser format that needs to be upgraded to live action to count as real cinema. I cannot think of a single instance where a live action remake of an animated classic was an improvement. Let's go through the list. Aladdin. I enjoyed the Aladdin live action. Is it an improvement? No. The Lion King. Absolutely not. It looks like a movie where the lions just forgot how to smile from National Geographic. Okay. Any other example? No, it's not an improvement of the animated classic. So stop trying to turn beautifully rendered cartoon magic into weird, uncanny valley realism just so you can charge us $15 a ticket to watch the exact same plot we already have on Disney Plus and will have again 6 weeks after its theatrical release. Leave the animation alone. I'm sorry you're going to go see it. I refuse. Will not be seeing it in person. Refuse to subject myself to any more of this live action AI CGI slop that they are insisting on giving us.
Where's that applause button you had?
Oh,
earlier,
let me pull the applause button back up.
Yeah, we need it. It's like,
Yeah.
woo! Yeah! Let it go! Yeah. Now you know how I feel about The Lion King. There's that rage inside of you that's like, why are you ruining things I love? Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Leave it full line. Let the world know. Yeah.
So, Ashby, I think you came in midway through my rant.
Sorry, the audience is still just so excited for Eric's rant.
And she's gone again.
She said, you know what?
So,
I was actually excited to see one.
All right, well, Kyle Ashby, thank you for bringing the absolute chaos today. And it was chaos. I mean, we have internet problems when we're not in person. We had internet problems on our end. I mean, you probably won't be able to tell by the time this episode airs, but we had to stop for like 40 minutes because my internet cut us off in the middle of our draft. So to our listeners out there, thank you for sticking with us, and make sure you follow us on all our social media channels. That would be on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at What the What Media. Rate and review our podcast on the platform of your choice, and let us know your picks for the Spider-Man draft. Well, for Ashby, who just sent a text saying she thinks her internet finally gave up the ghost. She just said sign off without her, so we are going to do it. Until next time, keep your head in the clouds, stay as cool as the other side of the pillow, stay nostalgic, be kind, and rewind. See ya.
Bye-bye.